In Psalm 138, verse 8, it says, "The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O God, endures forever. Do not forsake the works of your hands." Just as you're strengthening your adductor muscles to support your body's stability, remember that God's love and purpose for you are unwavering and unshakable. May your faith in Jesus Christ be the anchor that holds you steady in every circumstance, just as your adductor muscles hold your legs stable in this exercise. I'm Roman Hunter. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the Copenhagen Adductor or adduction exercise. Now, this exercise helps to improve and enhance the strength, stability, and balance of the adductor muscles. And it is arguably, according to research, one of the best exercises for adductor rehabilitation or adductor strain. Persons who have, had a history of adductor strain or who have had an adductor strain. And it also helps to bulletproof your adductor muscles or groin muscles, and helps definitely with injury prevention for adductor strain. Now, this exercise, there are different grades, different stages to this exercise. I'm going to take you through some of them. The starting position for this exercise that you want to start in sideline position, so as if you're going to be doing a side plank. And you're going to make sure that your hand is on the forearm. You want to make sure that on that side, the shoulder is above the elbow. The bottom leg is straight, and the top leg is supported by a chair. So the top leg here is on a chair, or you can use a bench, you can use a bed, you can use a box, something that is about 6 or 8 inches high. 6 or 8 inches high. And you're supported, the leg is on it, is on the surface. You can put the leg all the way up to the knee if you want a little bit more support and stability. Or if it is that you're at an advanced stage and you can tolerate more load, you can take the leg all the way out to the distal portion, or almost to the level of the ankle. All right, so you're in a sideline position, the bottom hip is resting on the surface, the bottom leg is resting on the surface, and your forearm is on the surface. So what you're going to be doing is you want to make sure that the body is straight. You want to brace your core, keep your body in a straight line. So this shoulder, the top shoulder, is supposed to be in line with the top hip, supposed to be in line with the top knee. All right, so everything is supposed to be in alignment. It's as if you're doing a side plank, an elevated side plank. Now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to press down into the chair, and you're going to lift the hip up. You're going to lift the top hip up towards the ceiling, like that, and you're going to go into that side plank position first. Keep this hand, the top hand, on the hip, and you're going to take your time, gently lower the hip, and then up again. So don't do this just yet. You lower the hip, allow the top hip to abduct, and then bring it in. Contract and lower it slowly, and then bring it in, keeping the body straight. Now, you can do that for a couple reps. If it is that is too hard for you, then you can bring your leg in a little bit more so that the knee, almost the knee supported by the bench or the surface that the top leg is on, the top knee supported more. The further away the knee is from the surface is the more challenging it will be. So if you want to reduce the challenge, if you want to reduce the difficulty, then you slide the leg forward up a little bit more so that the knee is supported by the surface, and you perform the exercise again. Keep your body straight, down and up. Notice it is the top hip that is dipping, the top hip, and then up. Keep your body in alignment, down and then up. And again, if it is that you have a box or the surface that you're putting your foot on, that the top leg is on, it doesn't have any space for the bottom leg to go underneath it like this one, then you can bend the knee. So you can bend the knee and still perform the same exercise. Up, like this. All right? Now, if that is still a bit too difficult for you in terms of keeping the top leg straight and performing that exercise, you can bend the top one as well. So you go close up to the chair. Keep the top knee on it. So the knee is bent. The knee of the top leg is bent. And it's being supported. And the bottom one is straight, or you can keep the bottom one bent as well, depending on what you can tolerate at the time. And you're going to still go ahead and go back into the side plank. So it makes it a little bit easier for you. Keep this bottom one straight, so notice that it maintains straight as the hip dips. Keep it straight and then back up. Straight and then back up. If it is that after doing all of that is difficult, or you have difficulty doing it, or you're unable to tolerate it, then what you can do is just go into a plank position. So you can start off from a plank position. So you can either start off with a plank position with the knees bent, or a plank position with the leg on the surface just below the level of the knee or at the level of the knee. Or you can start in a plank position with your leg on the surface at the level of the ankle and the bottom leg bent or straight. Okay, so I want to show you the plank in this position. So you can just hold it. You can hold it for a couple of seconds. Once you can tolerate this one, then you can put the movement in there and make it more dynamic. But for the time being, if you're unable to tolerate the dynamic components of it, then just maintain the plank position. And you can repeat that for a couple of sets, a couple of seconds, and you can continue doing that a few times per week until you would have developed some more endurance and strength in your adductors that will now allow you to perform the dynamic component of it. Now, if it is that even while doing the plank that might be a bit challenging for you, then it can still regress even further. So you can keep the bottom foot on the surface, keep the bottom foot on the floor, the top leg on the surface, bottom foot on the floor, the top leg on the surface, and all you're doing is up. So notice the bottom leg here is on the surface, is on the floor, all right? So you're not lifting it up and down, up and down. Putting the pressure through the top one. So you're using the top one to help pull your body up, down. Remember to keep your core tight, pull your body up and down. Pull your body up, using the top leg to pull the body up because you're working, it's the adductors of the top leg that you're working. So contract, relax. Contract again and pull the body up, relax. Contract again and pull the body up, and then relax. Now, if at that point it's still difficult and you're unable to tolerate that one, then the next one that you can do is bend the bottom knee. Bend the bottom knee. So it's making it a little bit easier for you. Keep the top leg on the surface. And what you're going to actually do is as you come up, remember the bottom knee is bent for this one, and then down. Keep the bottom knee bent, up, and then down. So what I've actually been doing is regressing. So I started off with the hardest one, then I came back, depending on the level of your capacity, what you're able to tolerate at the time. You can reduce it. Each one you can reduce it. You just test it out and see which one you can tolerate, and you stop at that one. All right? So again, if you have difficulty doing it with your legs straight and with your bottom leg straight and on the floor, then you can bend the bottom knee. You can either bend or straighten the top one that is on the surface, the elevated surface. And what you're actually doing, again, you're going to that side plank position, up, and you can hold it in this position. Remember to contract the groin muscles of the top limb, the upper limb, and then down slowly, up again, hold it, and then down slowly. Once you have mastered this, then you can go into the plank and hold the plank. Once you have mastered the plank, then you can do the full exercise. Try not to rotate the body forward like this. Try not to put your hand like this. and rotate the body forward. Remember, when performing this exercise, the knee needs to be forward. It needs to be straight. Not facing the ceiling, but forward, like the rest of the body, parallel to the wall in front of you. All right? The body needs to be parallel to the wall in front of you. Try not to over-rotate. Try not to rotate back. Try not to rotate forward, or keep your hand on the surface like this. If it is that you find yourself having to do this, that means it's too difficult for you, and you need to regress, step back, keep on going back in terms of the different stages until you have found an appropriate variation or body positioning that works for you in that with the exercise, right? So you can do the exercise effectively. All right. Now again, you don't want also the hand to be out like this. Make sure that the shoulder is above the elbow for support and stability of the shoulder joint. All right. Brace the core and perform the exercise. If it is that while performing this exercise you begin to have pain or discomfort or increasing pain, then back away. You probably would have been doing too much. You may need to regress a little bit, go into a different variation that offers a little less load on the affected area, the groin, and perform it until you have acquired enough strength and endurance that you can progress and go further into another stage in this exercise, right? Make it a more challenging one. Because at the end of the day, this is where you want to get to. You want to get to the point where the elevated leg is on an elevated surface. The top leg is on an elevated surface. That's the ground that you're working at the level of the ankle. And you should be able to do a couple reps of these, probably 10, 15 reps properly, all right, without breaking form or technique. If it is that you want to add a little variation to it, you can do some other different things as well. Some persons have been doing this one, so you can also do this as well, but ideally this is where you want to get to. You want to lower the body, down and then up. Down and then up. Notice the movement is coming from the top hip, and that is what you want. All right? The Copenhagen Adductor Exercise. This exercise is a wonderful exercise to bulletproof the groin muscles. You can switch to the other side if you want and perform the exercise. Remember to seek medical advice or counsel first from your physiotherapist before performing this exercise. If it is that you have a groin strain or a predisposing medical groin condition, right? So seek clearance first before performing this exercise. And remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Roman Hunter. Have a wonderful day. Blessings.